the top, and she is that spark plug for this Duke team. Now, overall, last year, she struggled with a knee injury, but she's back this year. Not many people knew it, but she played through it last year, and this year really setting the tone at the top of that lineup.
Amina Vega, one of 5 Blue Devils hitters, hitting over 300, and she will have a tough task ahead of her going up against Pickens, the right-hander junior here on Rocky Top for her 3rd season. Was picked as the number 4 player in the nation by D1 Softball ahead of this season. The first pitch from Pickens, Vega fouls off, and we are officially underway, the first meeting between Duke and the Lady Vols here in Knoxville.
And you saw Vega right away take a swing off that first pitch, and that's something that Coach Young said before this game. She said she wants this offense to be super aggressive, especially off a pitcher like Pickens, because one of her second pitch is going to be the best pitch she's going to throw.
That aggressive mindset, something that Duke head coach Marissa Young told us one of the keys to the game. Stay aggressive at the plate, especially when you're facing an All-American with such big heat. Not an easy thing to do, but a big key for the Duke Blue Devils today. The 0-1 pitch, Vega rolls this one over foul to Gibson. Now down in the count, 0-2. And there's head coach Marissa Young in her 8th season with the Duke Blue Devils, the only coach in program history, because it is a young program, as Vega takes a ball upstairs, bring the count 1-2. Coach Young has found immediate success with the Blue Devils, just the 8th year of Division I softball, and they're fresh off their first ever trip to the Women's College World Series last year. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss on the outside corner. Pickens picks up the first strikeout of the game, sitting down Vega.
And I love that setup. Again, Pickens starting out hard, but if you notice here, she even looked like she took some speed off of that one. So again, Vega just out in front, and she kind of threw her hands at that one, but great start for Pickens in the circle.
Anna Gold, the 2-hole hitter, now at the plate for the Blue Devils, takes strike 1. Gold hitting .319 coming into today. One of 5 Blue Devils hitting over 300. As the powerhouse leads the team in home runs as well with 6. Swings and misses for strike 2. Now down in the count, 0-2. That's back-to-back hitters. Pickens has gotten into that 0-2 hole, the perfect pitcher's count for her.
It's a good thing for Pickens, but also Duke needs to realize she's throwing strikes in her first couple pitches. So again, being aggressive, exactly what Coach Young wants.
1, 2, 3 pitches, sits down the 2-hole hitter Gold for back-to-back strikeouts to start this game for Carlin Pickens. 3-hole hitter Kyrie Rodriguez now to the plate as she takes ball 1. Rodriguez, a redshirt sophomore out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Redshirted last season after suffering a knee injury. Coach says happy to have her back in the lineup. Evens the count 1-1. Pickens clearly, like you mentioned, Faith, bringing the heat, but also throwing strikes. She's right around that box.
Absolutely, and when you know a pitcher is on and throwing those strikes right away, then that's when you need to be aggressive and swing at those first few pitches, because once you get behind an account like this is where Pickens can start toying with you, playing with you, throwing some balls out of the zone, and you just want to make sure you're keeping it in.
1-2 from Pickens in the dirt, even the count 2-2. Pitch, fouls this one back. Pickens threw a complete game in the Lady Vols season opener against Georgia on Friday, allowing just 2 hits, no earned runs, and finished with 9 strikeouts. She also came in Saturday for game 2 in relief, went 4 2/3 innings, allowing just 5 hits and 1 earned run. 2-2 pitch, upstairs to bring the count full, 3-2. Pickens making her 12th appearance, 10th start of the season comes into today with a .76 ERA. And Rodriguez takes ball 4.
And such a good at-bat by Rodriguez there. She fell behind in that count, but she was able to battle, foul off some of those pitches, and that pitch by Pickens just missing on that inside corner. So good hold. Thought she may have swung. I don't think she did.
So after back-to-back strikeouts, Pickens walks the third batter, which will bring up Amaya Burgess, the 4-hole hitter for the Blue Devils. Burgess coming into today hitting .288. Sophomore out of League City, Texas, coming off a strong weekend where she went 4 for 9. Takes a strike, even the count 1-1. The Blue Devils coming off a big conference series weekend conference series win over Clemson. They dropped the first game on Friday, but then bounced back, picked up 2 wins Saturday and Sunday. Strike 2.
And when speaking to Coach Young before this game, she said she wasn't necessarily happy with how this team played over the weekend. But again, still getting that series win against Clemson is a big deal, but they were really able to bounce back and figure it out.
Check swing, but he's gonna call her out for strike 3. Pickens with 3 strikeouts. A beautiful pitch here to end the top of the first. Stay with us. We'll introduce you to Lady Vols bats when we get back. The 17th ranked Duke Blue Devils will now turn to right-hander grad student Danny Drugmuller to start this game. Drugmuller coming into today, making her 14th appearance and 9th game started this season.
And what you're going to see out of her is she's going to throw in the mid to upper 60s. You're going to see a little bit of everything, actually. You're going to see that drop, screw. But biggest thing is she has a really good changeup. And that's what I love about the call to start her in the circle today, because Tennessee sometimes struggles with adjusting with those speeds.
Lady Vols leadoff hitter Savia Morgan takes strike 1, even the count 1-1. The freshman will take her first crack out of Drugmuller, leading things off for this potent Tennessee Lady Vols lineup, hitting .360 as a team. 1-1 shows bunt, pulls back. Speaking of that Tennessee Lady Vols lineup, 8 out of the 9 hitters in this lineup hitting over 300, and right there you see her Taylor Panel has been lights out to start the season, hitting .493. As Morgan dribbles this one over, not in time. Morgan beats out the slap bunt. Impressive wheels by the freshman.
Morgan is just so quick on the base paths. You got to try to get that ball over there in 2.7 seconds. That's 2.7 seconds. That's all the time that you get, and Duke just not in time with that throw.
So the first table setter is on board for the Lady Vols, and that will bring up 2-hole hitter Kinsey Fiedler, one of the new faces to Rocky Top this season. Fiedler takes ball 1. Fiedler transferring over from Washington last season, was an everyday starter for the Huskies, and then as soon as she came to Knoxville, solidified the spot in center field. 1-0, takes strike 1. Fiedler coming into today, hitting .441. Also riding a 24-game on-base streak. She takes ball 2. Was 4 for 8 this past weekend in the Lady Vols Conference Series against Georgia. So seeing the ball very well in this 2-hole spot. Takes strike 2, even the count 2-2.
And that's the changeup that you're going to see out of Drugmuller. She's going to be able to hit it anywhere around the zone. So you saw that pitch was a little high, maybe a little bit of a mistake, but you want to try to keep it low, especially against this Tennessee offense.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Morgan takes off for second, and the throw is in time. Great throw by the catcher, Kyrie Rodriguez, to get the speedy Morgan trying to steal second.
And if you want to hype up your defense and your pitcher, that's exactly how you do it. What a throw down to second base by Rodriguez. She is so quick, has such a quick transition, and you can see how Duke's energy just went up 2 outs quickly here in the first.
The throw out at second, and then the strikeout of Fiedler. 2 quick outs, and now Taylor Panel to the plate for the Lady Vols, trying to get something going. A little 2-out rally going here, bottom of the first. Panel hits this one hard to left field. It's out of here. Taylor Panel absolutely blasts the first pitch she sees. Bottom of the first to put the Lady Vols on top 1-0.
If there is something that Coach Weekly says about Panel, it is that she loves to be in high pressure situations. Look at that pitch. It's down in the zone at her knees. She goes down, grabs it, and just launches it over that left field fence. She is someone who is stepping up in a big role for this Tennessee offense, and she's going to be a huge key part of this lineup.
Panel's 10th home run of the season leads the team. That power we've seen before her previous 2 years with the Lady Vols, but certainly showing big strides this season. Hard hit to Vega at second, gets the out at 1. That will retire Gibson, but not before the Lady Vols strike first. Tennessee on top 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. First pitch strike to Tessa Mala'ulu. Mala'ulu, a grad senior, started her career at UCLA, but then transferred over to Duke for their grad program in business. She swings and misses at strike 2, and she's been an instant impact player for the Blue Devils this season.
Well, she was actually someone that Coach Young recruited 4 years ago, and now she's here on campus playing. Obviously went to UCLA first, but has definitely been a key part of this lineup to start this year.
0-2, she holds off in the dirt. Umpire asks for help and says she went, so that's a quick strikeout for Carlin Pickens, sitting down Tessa Mala'ulu.
And not exactly the kind of at-bat that you want. You saw Mala'ulu instantly start swinging at pitches that were in the dirt, out of the zone. So again, she just needs to settle in, let the ball come to her.
KK Mathis at the plate. Hits a hard ground ball over to Panel. Gets the out at 1. So 2 quick outs for the Lady Vols.
And you see Panel over at third base this year. Last year was McKenna Gibson. So making plays, she actually was in the outfield last year for Panel. So you don't see that very often. Usually if you're in the outfield, you stay in the outfield. If you're in the infield, you stay in the infield.
Not on Rocky Top. A little different here on Rocky Top. Pickens' first pitch to Brooklyn Thomas in for a strike.
Right there.
Thomas, a Durham native, going to school in her hometown. Her first season with the Blue Devils. 382 on base percentage. It's a dribbler foul. Scott Mayer, our home plate umpire. Donnie Whitehead, our first base umpire. And Phil Freeze over at third. Beautiful 72 degrees and sunny here in Knoxville. Couldn't ask for better weather on this midweek matchup. The 0-2 fouls it off. Handful of fans out in Sherry Parker Lee Stadium on this Tuesday night. Low winds and sunny skies, perfect softball weather. Fouls this one off.
Well, there's nothing like softball here at Rocky Top, and this is something that you don't see very often at schools. You see fans out in the parking lots. They are tailgating, very much like you see at a football game. So definitely the perfect type of day to have softball here in Tennessee. And this is a Tuesday night. Let's remember that too.
Packed house for a Tuesday night. The 0-2 from Pickens, and Thomas pops this up. Calling for it is is Clark at shortstop, and she will make the grab to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Lady Vols as we head to the bottom of the second. Rodriguez takes first pitch ball. Make that 2-0 to Rodriguez. The infielder from Live Oak, Texas, hitting .458 coming into today. As she hits a hard one over to Gold at short. The throw offline, but still gets the out at 1.
And I'll say, couldn't see it exactly from our angle, whether she actually pulled her foot over there or not. That was awfully close.
Certainly a bang-bang play. But now Gabby Leach up at the plate for the Lady Vols. Takes first pitch strike from Drug Mueller. Leach coming into today hitting .366, the sophomore out of the Woodlands in Texas. Trying to find her way, crack this potent Lady Vols lineup. Fouls this one off hard into the left field stands. Among the fans, I should say. All smiles. Looks like somebody's going home with a softball, or at least maybe a replacement softball.
Oh, she's really excited about that one.
Great crowd here today at Sherry Parker Lee. 0-2 upstairs, make the count 1-2. Faith, to kind of wrap up that conversation about the Duke Blue Devils, just doing a phenomenal job so early in their infancy, but a lot of pressure also coming, a lot of expectations coming off of that Women's College World Series appearance.
Yeah, Coach even said it. She was saying, you know, there is pressure. We feel like, you know, we want to go back to that. So they're just kind of taking a step back and saying, hey, we're just going to play our game, focus on this season, and whatever happens, happens. But obviously, you still have that drive. You want to go back to Oklahoma City.
2-2. Leach pops this one up. Calling for it is Thomas at right, and she will make the catch for the second out. So 2 quick outs for the Lady Vols. That will bring up the catcher, Sophia Nugent. Nugent, the senior out of Seal Beach, California. Second leading home run hitter on the team with 6 long balls this season. Takes first pitch strike. Had a home run in her first at-bat of the Georgia series this past weekend on Friday. Seeing the ball well this past weekend, she went 2 for 9 with 3 RBIs. As she takes a changeup on that outside corner for ball 1.
Nugent is someone who's really been working on her pitch selection, and that's really thanks to Coach Snyder. Everything is the same for each hitter. He's focusing on their approach, their mindset, trusting your swing, and then also just trusting the pitch that you're going after.
Nugent takes ball 2 outside. There's a look at the new hitting coach for the Lady Vols, Craig Snyder, his first year on Rocky Top, one of the top offensive minds in the country, as Nugent blasts this one foul. Snyder, this past 2 seasons, helped guide the Red Raiders to back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 2019, was the head coach over at Texas Tech. Past 2 years, also had stops at Oklahoma, Florida State, Texas A&M, and Florida. Has helped develop the Lady Vols hitting philosophy as Nugent ropes this through the right side, beats out the throw.
And Nugent doing a great job here. That pitch is on the outside corner, and you can see she just throws her hands at it, lets it get deep into the batter's box, and takes it to that right side.
So 1 runner on for Tennessee, as Emma Clark will try to get a 2-out rally going here. Takes strike 1. Clark, just a freshman, one of 6 freshmen on this Lady Vols lineup. Hitting .261 coming into tonight. takes a ball on the outside corner to even the count 1-1. Tennessee with 10 newcomers on the team this year. 4 transfers and 6 freshmen, Clark being one of them. Trying to crack this tough Tennessee lineup as she grounds to shortstop Gold. Gets the out at 1 to end the inning. So Lady Vols leave 1 runner on as we head to the top of the 3rd. Tennessee's in new conferences. Quite a bit of shuffling, Faith, when it comes to the 2025 season.
It's a little all over the place, but the ad I really actually like and want to point out is Oklahoma and Texas in the SEC. You see Oklahoma constantly dominate the Big 12, but now they're in SEC. Every single weekend is going to be a postseason contender team. So I'm interested to see how the regular season goes for them.
Carlin Pickens back in the circle for the Tennessee Lady Vols. Throws first pitch ball to Jada Baker on the outside. 8-9-1 for the Blue Devils as Baker takes ball 2. Gets ahead in the count 2-0. Baker, Longwood, Florida native. Coming off a strong weekend, went 3 for 8 with 2 RBI against the Clemson Tigers. 2-0. Fouls this one off, bring the count 2-1. Baker with one of the strongest arms on the team captain, but she moved over from shortstop to first base this season, and Blue Devils defense has been benefiting from that. 2-1 pitch to Baker, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Well, the fact that you can have a former shortstop come over and play first base, usually at first base, you just need to take 1 or 2 steps left or right. But as a shortstop, you're like, hey, I can cover some ground.
A little different for Jada Baker. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Make that strikeout number 4 for Carlin Pickens.
And again, beautiful pitch by Pickens. That's going to just drop off the table, and you can see that Baker was just over that, just swinging and miss. But Pickens so far has been lights out in the circle.
5 strikeouts today for Pickens as Jennings squares around, pulls back for strike 1. Deanna Jennings, a 9-hole hitter for the Blue Devils, a junior, hitting .325 going into tonight. Trying to turn this lineup around. The 0-1 upstairs to bring the count 1-1. Jennings, a starting center fielder from Houston, Texas. Sits second in the team in hits with 25. Also an all-CC preseason selection. Takes ball 2 outside. Went 3 for 8 this past weekend with 2 RBIs. Was also named to the 2025 USA Softball Player of the Year watch list. 2-1 from Pickens. Outside, ball 3. Pickens struck out the side at the top of the first. Had another strikeout in the second. And her 5th to start this inning. As Jennings thought that was ball 4, but she will come back as the count now becomes full 3-2.
And that pitch just on the outside, that river. So Pickens really trying to expand that zone, and she's doing a great job of it.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carlin Pickens to start the top of the 3rd.
Again, Pickens just coming back with that same exact spot right on the outside corner. And that pitch probably didn't move as much as what she wanted to, but just freezing Jennings there.
6 strikeouts on the day for Pickens. As Amina Vega fouls off her first pitch. She struck out her last at-bat to start this game. We had a great conversation with Tennessee head coach Karen Weekly about Carlin Pickens, and she says her confidence has grown even more in year 3. As Vega pops this up to left, going for it is Morgan in left field, and she makes the catch! Savannah Morgan with an impressive 3rd out to end the top of the 3rd. Lady Vols getting it done in the circle and also on the field.
And I gotta say, that's probably a Sports Center top 10 type catch. Coming in, making the grab. and Tennessee leads 1-0.
Joining us, Tennessee Lady Vols on top 1-0, thanks to a solo home run in the first inning by Taylor Panel. And Danny Drugmuller on the mound for the Blue, in the circle for the Blue Devils, trying to simmer down the Lady Vols as first pitch hits Ella Dodge. Dodge with the free base, the 9-hole hitter, and that will now turn the lineup over to Savia Morgan.
I was about to say right now, both pitchers honestly doing a really good job in that circle. Yes, gave up that big home run to Taylor Panel, but overall, Drugmuller's just been awesome and just made that one mistake with that one pitch, and that's kind of how softball works. Sometimes you just miss one pitch, and it can change a whole game.
And to your point, Faith, Drugmuller has bounced back, settled in nicely, despite giving up that Taylor Panel home run. Savia Morgan slaps this foul. Morgan with a single, her first at-bat. A little slap bunt in front of the catcher, was able to beat that out, then was thrown out trying to steal second. Certainly has the most speed on the team, 17 stolen bases this season. Hitting over 400 as leadoff hitter for the Lady Vols. So Ella Dodge, a runner on first. 0-1 pitch, squares around a bunt, but pulls back.
We have to think of this too. Morgan is in that leadoff spot, and she's just a freshman. So she has stepped up into a big and major role here for the Lady Vols, and she wasn't always in this position.
The slap to shortstop, but Gold can't handle it. Savia Morgan able to reach safely, and now Lady Vols with runners on first and second.
And sometimes as a slapper, all you got to do is try to use that dirt. You can see that took a really big hop. Gold honestly couldn't do much with it. She just had to sit back and let that ball hit her body and try to keep it in front of her, but she did a good job not allowing that to get into the outfield.
Fiedler squares around, pulls back. 2 runners on for Kinsey Fiedler. The transfer from Washington struck out her last at-bat, hitting .435 tonight. The chance to try to add to the Tennessee Lady Vols lead. Squares around, gets the bunt down, crashing is Mala'ulu, and it's in time. So 1 down for the Duke Blue Devils, but now runners on second and third for the home run hitter, Taylor Panel.
Well, Tennessee's done exactly what they wanted to do, is get runners into scoring position, and then you put Panel up to the plate. If there's anyone who is more clutch than Panel in this offense, well, I gotta say, she's probably the most clutch in this offense.
She is. She leads the Lady Vols with 13 games with multi-RBI games this season. So certainly can come up clutch when her team needs to. She's also hits .486 with runners in scoring position. Ball 2, that brings the count 2-0 now, as catcher Kyrie Rodriguez calls time to talk with her pitcher, Danny Drugmuller.
And Coach Weekly says she really thrives in that high-pressure situations, which I know we've talked about. But the biggest thing for her this year is that she's just calm in the batter's box. She doesn't let previous at-bats affect her. I always say one of the toughest things to do after you hit a home run is coming back and getting a solid hit again, because you always maybe think you're seeing the ball really well, you want to swing for the fences. But she's just more relaxed, has more professional approach this year compared to years past.
Panel takes strike 1 on the outside, bring the count 2-1 now. So Ella Dodge, the runner on third, Savia Morgan at second. 1 down, the 2-1. Ball 3. Panel coming off a strong weekend against Georgia, 3 for 6 with 4 RBI. Has been the hot hitter. She swings and misses to bring the count full, 3-2.
And that's the pitch that Drugmuller needs to use more often with this Tennessee offense, that changeup, you're going to notice it's going to come in around 55, 56 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour slower.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, just as you were talking about it, Faith. Gets her swinging on the changeup.
And that's nothing, or that's something you usually don't expect. You have a full count, and to see a pitcher come back and throw another changeup, again, panel, that's probably why she was off balance. Was not expecting that, but that's what you got to do, is you got to mess with those speeds against Tennessee.
McKenna Gibson takes strike 1. Has to be a huge sigh of relief getting the strikeout of Taylor Panel, because now Duke Blue Devils with 2 outs. They still have to go through McKenna Boo Gibson, who's also been a hot hitter at the plate. Gibson, hard line drive, but right into the glove of Gold. So the Lady Vols leave 2 runners on. Duke Blue Devils come away unscathed. We head to the top of the 4th.
These two teams both have so much energy, and of course the fans here in Tennessee have so much energy, but so good to have softball back starting the regular season just this past weekend, and it's been good so far.
Pickens throws strike 1 to Anna Gold. Jill Jelnick alongside Faith Kane with you tonight. Beautiful night here at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. Blue Devils trying to play catch up, down 1-0 as Gold pops this one up. Pickens off to a great start so far in this game. Already 6 strikeouts. And Faith, what have you seen from her that has been so effective against these Blue Devils hitters?
The biggest thing she's doing is she's getting ahead of hitters right away. She's attacking them with that first, second pitch, going down 0-2 instantly for Duke, and then she's able to just kind of mess around, bring it out of the zone, use that drop ball, use that changeup. If you notice, most of her strikeouts today haven't even been strikes. They've just been swing and misses, so she's going with that pitcher's pitch.
Anna Gold struck out her first at-bat, down 0-2 in the count. Grounder towards third, that gets past Panel, that will stay fair, and a base hit for Anna Gold.
And right now, this is what Duke needs. They just need to get something going, and you can see Panel had a great dive, just missing that right underneath her glove, but Gold doing what she needs to do. She's their hot hitter as well in this lineup.
So a table setter now for Kyrie Rodriguez. Swings, fouls back the first pitch. Rodriguez hitting .310 coming into tonight. Has some power, 3 home runs on the season. Back in the lineup this year after redshirting last year due to a knee injury. Squares around a bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 2. So once again, Pickens ahead in the count, 0-2. It was an 0-2 pitch that Gold ripped down the third baseline to get to first. Now ahead on Rodriguez. Rodriguez pops this up, calling for it is Panel. Makes the out for the first out of the inning. So Gold will stay put at first base. 1 out now for Amaya Burgess, the cleanup hitter for the Blue Devils. Struck out looking, her first at-bat. Hits this one hard off of Pickens' glove, deflects to short, the double play, but not in time on the back end. Wow. Let's take another look at that one. It went off the glove of Pickens to Clark at short. They get the out at second, but then bang, bang at first.
And such a good defensive play, and that play close over at first as well. You can see Tennessee thought they had it.
Yeah, I thought so too. Squares around to bunt in the dirt, taking off his Gold, or excuse me, taking off his Burgess, and she will slide in safely to second. So Amaya Burgess, who reached on that fielder's choice, now in scoring position for Tessa Malauulu.
And that ball just bobbled a little bit by Nugent, but Nugent having a quick still throw down. That ball may have beat her if it would have been caught.
Malauulu takes ball 1 upstairs. struck out looking her first time around. As the Lady Vols will take a moment in the circle. Runner in scoring position for Duke, trying to tie this game up. As they trail 1-0 here, top of the fourth with 2 outs.
And it looks like we're going to get a pinch runner coming in as well for Duke.
1-0, Mala'ulu takes strike 1, even the count, 1-1. That will be Gabriella Mike, the pinch runner for the Blue Devils, now at second. 2 down, 1-1 pitch, squares around, pulls back, strike 2. So Pickens once ahead in the count, 1-2, with 2 outs and a runner on second. Fouls this one off towards the right side dugout. Mala'ulu, the experienced veteran, transferring over from UCLA. Grad transfer, leads the team with 3 triples on the year. Also team captain for the Blue Devils. 1-2 pitch, upstairs, even the count 2-2. Mala'ulu played 51 games last year at UCLA, started 46 of them. Veteran presence for this Duke offense. Trying to get something going with 2 outs. She will take ball 4.
And that pitch is just getting away from Pickens. It's a rise ball that goes up out of the zone. Just a little too high on that one. But Mala'ulu doing a great job of, once she was behind in that count, adjusting and fouling off the pitches she needed to get that walk.
First pitch strike to KK Mathis at the plate. Grounded out to third, her first time around. Swings and misses, strike 2. 2 quick strikes on Mathis. Pickens once again ahead in the count. 2 outs, 2 runners on. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pickens feeling every part of it. Her 7th strikeout of the night as Tennessee Lady Vols hold on to their lead 1-0 over Duke as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Rankings from USA Softball and ESPN.com. Lady Vols coming in 7th. But Duke, Faith, could easily be one of these top 10 teams. They've certainly seen their fair share of top opponents this season.
Absolutely, they could easily be in this top 10. They have wins over UCLA this year, Florida. So they are competing with the best of the best.
First pitch to Destiny Rodriguez, in for a strike. As Danny Drugmuller returns to the circle for Duke. Rodriguez with a ground out earlier. Takes ball 1, even the count 1-1. Duke with a handful of top-ranked wins. They knocked off then-ranked number 2 Florida, 16 Nebraska, 4 UCLA. They have scheduled 15 top 25 opponents this season. Rodriguez takes strike 2. Blue Devils coming off their first ever Women's College World Series appearance last year. Also the reigning ACC regular season champs. As Rodriguez takes ball 2 outside. Drugmuller, a part of that Women's College World Series team last year. But this year, a good blend of veterans and also youth. Rodriguez loops this one towards center, comes crashing is Jennings, and she makes the grab.
And this Duke defense is so strong, and I love watching Jennings out in center field. It literally is like a no-fly zone with her. But also, what's great, she has no emotion. like, she'll be out there, she'll make a catch, and then she'll just be like, okay, next. That was an everyday thing for me. No big deal.
All business for Deanna Jennings. Hard hit ground ball to Mala'ulu. Gets the out at 1 and quickly retires Gabby Leach.
And strong hit by Leach, but just right over to third base.
It's one of those almost hit too hard.
Absolutely. You just want to hit it a little over to the right.
Sophia Nugent at the plate now for the Lady Vols. Takes first pitch ball. Is able to reach base off a single, her first at bat. 7-hole hitter in this lineup. Trying to get a 2-out rally going here for Tennessee. Takes strike 1, even the count 1-1. Jennings, as you mentioned, Faith, one of those everyday starters for Duke, was one of the 11 returners from that Women's College World Series team last year, and they were picked as the preseason favorites to win the ACC, as Nugent fouls this one back.
Well, one of the biggest things for Duke this year, too, is, well, even in the past years, is the recruiting class that is now juniors, and Jennings is part of that. You also have Cassidy Curd, you have Vega, so these are top players around the country just in that class.
1-2 pitch to Nugent. Takes ball 2 upstairs. Drugmuller gave up the solo home run to Taylor Panel back in the first inning, but since then has really settled in and quieted the Lady Vols bats. 2-2 here. Nugent pops up, foul.
Something you're starting to see more of here later in the game with Drugmuller is the fact that she's starting to throw that off speed, that change up, and she's just changing speeds quite a bit. The biggest thing she's going to do is rely on that spin as well. Not only can she throw that off speed, but she can kind of throw 3 different speeds. So that's tough to adjust to. There's
a 50-mile-per-hour change up there on the outside corner. That will bring the count 3-2. 3-2, excuse me, as Nugent has fought off 7 pitches. Now the 8th pitch coming up for her at bat. Payoff pitch from Drugmuller. Outside for ball 4.
And you saw right there, very similar pitchers back to back to back. The last 3, I think, were some sort of off speed that she was throwing. And when you're a hitter, you have to think, oh, she's going to come back with a fast because she just had a change. So again, just different mindset, and especially when you start seeing the lineup 2-3 times, you got to start mixing it up, surprising hitters a little bit more.
First pitch to Emma Clark, low and outside for ball 1. Clark 0 for 1 after grounding out to short, her first at bat back in the second. One of the new faces to Rocky Top. Takes strike 1, even the count 1-1.
Clark is part of this freshman class who was ranked top 5 by extra innings to come into this year recruiting class. So Tennessee definitely has a lot of new fresh faces this year, but they're already breaking into the lineup. And I gotta also call out these upperclassmen as well. So people like Pickens and Taylor Panel and McKenna Gibson, who have just turned into these great leaders who have had other people behind them that they've just been able to learn from.
Great mix of veterans and also talented youthful players on Rocky Top as Clark takes ball 2. That freshman class that Faith is referring to, the 4th ranked freshman class in the country, class of 2024, I should say. So Karen Weekly and her staff did a nice job this summer bringing more talent here to Knoxville as Clark takes ball 3, bring the count full 3-2. Sophia Nugent on first. Emma Clark at the plate, 2 outs. And the payoff pitch here from Danny Drugmuller. Fouls it back. Clark with 6 hits this season, 2 runs and 4 RBIs, trying to make her way into this lineup. It's 2 doubles on the year as well. 3-2 pitch. Hits this one hard but foul towards the right side. The 8th pitch of Clark's at bat. So Lady Vols hitters certainly seeing their fair share of pitches, getting their cuts in, protecting with 2 strikes. 3-2. Low and inside, fouls it off.
That's what you want to do to a pitcher as well, especially for a team like Duke. They know that they have Cassidy Curd probably in the bullpen as well, behind Drugmuller. But if you can just work her and get her to throw a lot of pitches, the more tired she's going to be out in that circle.
Clark fouls another one off. And you make a great point, Faith, because Drugmuller pitched in all 3 games against Clemson this past weekend. She came in relief the first 2 games, Friday, Saturday, and then just 2 days ago, Sunday, she threw a complete game, scattering 4 hits, allowing 1 earned run. So a lot of pitches thrown this past weekend. Gets the start tonight, the 3-2. Another foul back.
Well, something we saw in the past with softball is you could have one pitcher that pitched nearly every game and was able to take teams deep into Women's College World Series, but now we're taking a look and you need a full pitching staff. So you're seeing teams that are getting 3, 4 pitchers on their team that they can just rotate through, and Tennessee, they have a deep pitching staff, and then you see Duke as well.
Clark pops this one up. This one will also stay foul on the right side of the stands. We saw a look at Cassidy Curd, who Faith referred to, the left-hander for Duke. Started the first 2 games. There she is, Cassidy Curd. She started the first 2 games against Clemson, struggled in game 1, but then bounced back in Saturday, picked up the win in game 2. 3-2 pitch here to Clark. Strike 3 gets her looking on the changeup. Drugmuller brings in the off speed to end the inning.
And Drugmuller coming back with that off-speed pitch to get that big strikeout.
Nothing over Duke, and a big reason why the All-American in the circle, Carlin Pickens, absolutely dealing right now and giving different looks to these Blue Devils hitters.
And she's been key for this pitching staff for Tennessee. But look at that, the energy and the leadership that she has in that circle. Pitches, her changeup, her off-speed, her drop ball, everything kind of working for her. But the biggest thing is she is getting ahead of these hitters. So you're going to see her come out with one of her first 3 pitches as some of her best pitches that you're going to see in that batter's box.
First pitch to Brooklyn Thomas, ropes to shortstop for the first out. So quickly sits down the 7-hole hitter in Thomas. That will bring up Jada Baker for Duke Blue Devils. Look there at Clark, made a nice play, a freshman at shortstop tonight. And now the first pitch to Baker, upstairs for ball 1. Pickens making her 10th start this season. Tonight, it's just allowed 1 hit. As she goes low in the zone for strike 2 on Baker. It's done a nice job tonight getting ahead in pitchers' counts. 1-1 here in the dirt. Pickens threw a complete game in their series opener against Georgia Friday, only allowing 2 hits. She finished with 9 strikeouts, already has 7 tonight as her team leads 1-0. 2-1 pitch popped up, calling for it is Panel. That would be the easy out for out number 2. That will bring up the 9-hole hitter for Duke, Deanna Jennings. Starting center fielder, made an impressive catch earlier in this game, leaving her feet, making the catch as she takes strike 1 here. Umpire saying she went on that. Struck out her first at bat. Trying to turn this lineup around with 2 outs. Slap over to Panel, to 1, in time. 3 up, 3 down for the Lady Vols. Carlin Pickens dealing in the circle as Tennessee leads 1-0 over Duke. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Battering 3 hits and allowed just 1 earned run. That was that solo home run by Taylor Panel back in the first to give the Vols the lead 1-0. And now the Duke Blue Devils will turn to their left-hander, Cassidy Curd, in the circle.
What you're going to see out of Curd is she's going to establish the zone up. So you're going to see that ball come high often by her, and she loves to move the rise ball in all areas of the zone. So you're actually going to even see that rise ball come down in the zone as well.
Lady Vols 5-1 this season when facing left-handers, as Ella Dodge pulls back the bunt. Takes ball 2. Was hit by a pitch, her first at bat in the 3rd. The 9-hole hitter leading things off for Tennessee, bottom of the 5th. 2-0 from Curd. Pops this up. Calling for it is third baseman Mala'ulu, and she will make the catch for out number 1. So Curd comes in, throws 3 quick pitches, gets the first out, but now will face the top of the lineup for the Lady Vols, starting with Savia Morgan. Morgan takes first pitch strike. Singled her first at bat to start the game for the Lady Vols, and then reached on an error, her second at bat. Swings and misses, strike 2. 2 quick strikes on Morgan.
And I like this call by Coach Young as well to bring in Curd. Now, Drugmuller, she did a great job in the circle. Honestly, only had 1 mistake, which was that home run to Panel. But now the top of this Tennessee lineup is coming up. So Drugmuller already facing the Tennessee lineup twice. And once you face the same pitcher at least 2 times, that's when you start making adjustments. You know her patterns. You know what she's about to throw you. You've seen all her pitches. So now I think Duke's making that change so that Curd can come in and give them a different look.
Strike 3. Curd able to sit down the leadoff hitter, Savia Morgan, with a strike on the outside corner.
And that's going to be that curveball that's going to come across the zone. Of course, coming from that lefty on lefty matchup isn't always, I know, left-handers' favorite, from what I've heard.
Kinsey Fiedler now at the plate. Takes strike 1. Well, I was a lefty slapper, and I hated lefty pitchers. So, to your point, it's not a fun matchup. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup. Fiedler 0 for 2 tonight with sac bunt. 0-1 pitch, squares around, pulls back, evens the count 1-1. Curd coming into today with a 3.53 ERA and a 6-4 overall record. This is her 17th appearance of the season. And she has a team-high 70 strikeouts now, including the previous at-bat. Hard hit down the first base line, but umpire's going to call foul. That was a close one. This past weekend, Curd, we'll take another look at this one, Faith. This was right on the line, but it did stay foul.
Very, very close, but yes, definitely foul coming down that line.
So now 1-2 count now for Kinsey Fiedler. Transfer from Washington, one of the veterans in this lineup for Tennessee. Takes ball 2 upstairs. This past weekend, Cassidy Curd started the first 2 games against Clemson. She struggled in game 1, couldn't get out of the 3rd inning, but then bounced back on Saturday for game 2, picked up the win, struck out 4 in 5 innings of work. 2-2 pitch from Curd, upstairs, gets her swinging. 2 strikeouts for Curd as she comes into this game and retires the side. Tennessee still leading 1-0. Of the year, Jayla Wright. You see this correctly. She traded in her Duke blue for the Tennessee orange, now a grad assistant with the Lady Vols.
Yeah, she even posted on her social media earlier today and said that her heart is split into 2. So she's come on to this Tennessee team, become the grad assistant, but she was a stud for this Duke Blue Devils team last year, helping them lead to the Women's College World Series. Obviously was ACC Pitcher of the Year, so definitely left her mark in Durham.
Amina Vega fouls this one off her foot for strike 1. And we asked Duke head coach Marissa Young, is it going to be a little weird to see Jayla Wright in the other dugout? And she said, yeah, it will be weird, but she loves seeing where her players go after they're done playing. Excited for Jayla Wright. So 1 strike here for leadoff hitter Amina Vega as Pickens throws ball 1 in the dirt. Amina Vega, Anna Gold and Kyrie Rodriguez, 1-2-3 hitters for Duke as they try to play catch up here, down 1-0, top of the 6th. Fouls this back. So now this will be Vega's 3rd time seeing Pickens' faith, and at this point you have to imagine Duke Blue Devils trying everything they can to make adjustments on the All-American.
Well, right here, you kind of have to get creative in how you are going to score runs.
Vega swings and misses, strike 3. Make that the 8th strikeout of the night for Carlin Pickens.
Right now, you see Duke, they're swinging at pitches that are not in the zone. Again, Pickens is getting ahead right away, so that first pitch, second pitch, best pitch you are going to see in your at-bat. After that, you're going to have to shorten up and just try to get the bat on ball because she's going to start using a lot more of her movement pitches. But again, when you come through with the 3rd time through the lineup, when you're a pitcher, that's when you also start making adjustments. And when you're one of the top pitchers in the country, I'm sure that's what we're going to see out of Pickens here.
Pickens got ahead on Anna Gold. That was the 14th batter where she had a first pitch strike. So to Faith's point, getting ahead in the count has certainly been an advantage for Carlin Pickens tonight. The count now 1-1, 1 down. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Gold 1 for 2 tonight, had a single back in the 4th inning. Trying to be a table setter here for the Blue Devils. The powerhouse for Duke leads the team with home runs this season. She takes ball 2 upstairs. Gold is the school's all-time leader in home runs with 41, has a team high 4 this season. Also coming off a hot weekend versus Clemson, went 3 for 9. 2-2 pitch to Gold, fouls this back. We expected a matchup like this tonight with an All-American in the circle with Carlin Pickens and a hot-hitting Duke team hitting over 300. You knew it was going to be a close matchup here. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets her swinging on the rise ball for strikeout number 9.
And Pickens used that same exact pitch throughout this entire at-bat, and that's the rise ball up out of the zone. But if you notice, it's just right at the letters, so when that comes in, it looks juicy. You want to swing at it, because if she misses, that's usually going over the fence.
First pitch to Kyrie Rodriguez in the dirt for ball 1. Rodriguez 0 for 1 tonight, had a fielder's choice back in the 4th inning. Strike 1 evens the count 1-1.
And something you're seeing out of these Blue Devils hitters as well is it seems like they're almost guessing. They're almost swinging out of their shoes rather than just being patient and keeping their hands short. And that's something you have to do when you face a pitcher like Pickens. She's hands down the hardest throwing pitcher ever, right? Matching what Monica Abbott has done. I was going to say for the year, but ever in history. So you have to be short to the ball and keep your hands.
Grounder to Panel, over to one, in time. Lady Vols retire the side, and Carlin Pickens dealing in the circle. 9 strikeouts in this game.
Speed, drop ball, rise ball. Every pitch is working for her. And now we have the big hitter, Taylor Panel, coming up, who put that 1 run on that board.
Had the solo home run back in the first, and that's been the difference in this game, except now she will face Cassidy Curd, who came in last inning for the Blue Devils. Panel squares around a bunt, drops a beauty, and is safe at first.
What a decision by Coach Weekly to have Panel drop a bunt there. You saw it. Duke's defense was so back by their bags, first and third base, and Panel just there, it hit the plate before it went into fair territory. As also her left leg, you see that it took a big step out. Was she in the batter's box when she made contact?
Great point. The call on the field is fair ball. Looks like we will get some clarification here.
After further review, the ball did not hit the batter. She is safe at first base.
So they were checking to see if it hit Taylor Panel coming out of the box. After review, she will stay at first. It did not hit her, so that call is upheld. And now we will have McKenna Gibson come to the plate. Also a pinch runner for Tennessee as Zoe Schuler comes in.
I'm surprised they decided to do a pinch runner since Taylor Panel can drop a bunt and make it to first in time.
She showed off her speed. Now Gibson, with a chance to try to move the runner over, takes first pitch ball upstairs.
One thing Coach Weekly said is you have to have a dominant hitter behind Panel, and that's McKenna Gibson. The reason being is because a lot of people are going to pitch around Panel. They're not going to allow her to get those big hits, and we saw she got that big hit of a bunt, but now McKenna Gibson can step up and get her moving over.
Yeah, not exactly a reward after if you skip around Panel, because McKenna Gibson also hitting lights out, hitting .436 coming into tonight. Veteran here for the Lady Vols, and in this lineup. 1-1 pitch, holds up, takes strike 2. Cassidy Curd came in the last inning in relief for Danny Drugmuller. Got a pop-up and 2 quick strikeouts to sit down the Lady Vols, but now a runner on first, no outs, and the 1-2 pitch to Gibson. Fouls it back. Gibson came up clutch this past weekend with a 3-run home run against Georgia. That was in Game 3 on Sunday. Her 4th home run of the season. 2nd on the team in home runs behind Taylor Panel. 1-2 pitch. Takes ball 2 upstairs. Gibson played the first 4 games of the season this year, but then got hit by a pitch against Notre Dame. She was out for 2 weeks and then was able to come back in their game February 26th against Radford. Tennessee certainly glad to have her back in the lineup and in the field. 2-2 to Gibson. Fouls this one off into the first base dugout. Look alive, Duke Blue Devils. All smiles there from Gibson and Curd. Looks like everyone is okay after that hard hit foul ball. Still 2-2 count here. 1 runner on, nobody out for Tennessee as they look to extend their 1-0 lead. Gibson takes ball 3. Gibson 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to second base her first at-bat, and then hit a line drive, a rocket over to short, her second at-bat. Payoff pitch. Low in the zone, ball 4. Schuler now in scoring position for Tennessee after Gibson draws the walk. That will bring up the 5-hole hitter, Destiny Rodriguez. 0 for 2 tonight. And possibly, it looks like we will have a pinch hitter. So scratch that. Laura Mealer, I recognize that walkout song. The senior. Pinch hitting here, bottom of the 6th. Mealer coming into tonight hitting .328 on the season. Also hitting .387 with runners in scoring position. Mealer takes first pitch strike. We also have another pinch runner for McKenna Gibson. Katie Taylor will take first. So Katie Taylor, runner at first base. Schuler, your runner at second. And Laura Mealer at the plate. Takes strike 2. So 2 quick strikes on Mealer.
Mealer is also a hitter that likes to be in these type of situations. Some of her best hits last year specifically really came at moments like this with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
Takes strike 3 looking. That will be the first out of the inning. And the 3rd punch out of the night for Cassidy Kurt.
One thing Cassidy Kurt is doing well is using that rise ball. She's getting it right at the letters. She doesn't only just throw that for a ball up out of the zone for swings and misses, but she's also going to throw it as a strike, but a tough pitch to adjust to as a hitter when it is in that strike zone.
Gabby Leach takes strike 1. 0 for 2 today with a pop-up in the 2nd and a ground out in the 4th. 2 runners on, 1 out. Leach takes strike 2. Cassidy Kurt in the circle for Duke after coming in last inning. Doing a nice job simmering down these Lady Vols bats. 3 strikeouts so far tonight. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Make that strikeout number 4 for Cassidy Kurt.
And Kurt just hyping up her defense right now because a big strikeout again at number 2. That rise ball still working, and Tennessee just not wanting to lay off of it. But 2 big outs to come out when you have runners on first and second, especially after you have some of those walks. And then to come back with 2 strikeouts is huge.
Duke head coach Marissa Young calling timeout. Briefly talking to Cassidy Kurt and also catcher Kyrie Rodriguez for a moment. I imagine the conversation is pretty good. I see Coach Young smiling there, and after her 4th strikeout, I imagine it's probably a positive conversation.
Absolutely. She's probably coming out, making sure she's loose. Also, probably a little bit of a game plan here when you have Nugent coming up to bat, who's had a pretty big bat as of late. And also someone who does like that high ball and can take it out of the park.
Sophia Nugent definitely likes that high ball. We've seen that before. Single and a walk tonight. 2 outs, 2 runners on for Nugent. Fouls this one back. Nugent hitting .317. That 7-hole spot tonight for the Lady Vols. Veteran bat in this lineup. Takes strike 2. Kerr doing a nice job getting ahead in these counts. Now up 0-2 to Nugent. .02 pitch. Takes ball 1. Was able to lay off the rise ball there. Sophia Nugent hitting .429 with 2 outs, hitting .400 with runners in scoring position. Takes ball 2. Lady Vols with the chance here to try to pad their lead, up 1-0. Bottom of the 6th. Schuler on second. Taylor on first. The 2-2. Pops this one up. Diving for it is Vega, and she makes the grab. Lady Vols leave 2 runners on.
Lady Vols in the 6th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors.
As they lead 1-0 here, going up to the top of the 7th. A nice defensive play by Amina Vega at second base. Duke now with their final 3 outs in this game.
Then it looks like we may have a call coming up.
I think you might be right about that one. Again, we are taking a look at the 3rd out of the previous inning.
After further review, ball was hot for out. Tennessee first out.
There you have it, the 3rd out of the inning, officially reviewed, and the call is upheld. So Tennessee still on top 1. The Duke Blue Devils down to their final 3 outs as Amaya Burgess leads things off here, top of the 7th, and Blue Devils having a hard time getting runners on tonight. Variety of reasons why, but Carlin Pickens, who throws first pitch strike here, is a big reason why.
Absolutely. Pickens has been dominant. She's been using all of her pitches, and Duke, frankly, just has not been disciplined at the plate. They've been swinging at a lot of balls out of the zone for 3rd strikeouts and just haven't made those adjustments yet. But right now, if I was Duke, I would start thinking of ways to create runs, whether it be with a bunt, a slap, whatever they need, just kind of different ways to create those runs.
Burgess takes strike 2 outside. Any way you can get on, right? That's exactly what they need from their leadoff hitter, Amaya Burgess. It's Burgess and then Mala'ulu and Mathis, 4, 5, 6 in the lineup here, top of the 7th. The 1-2 pitch from Pickens. Outside corner, just misses. Pickens with 9 strikeouts tonight. Blue Devils have had no answer for the right-hander All-American. Slap up the middle, coming over is Clark, and it is not in time. The Blue Devils have their leadoff runner, top of the 7th inning.
And Burgess, again, doing anything she can to get on base. She dropped that ball right into the dirt. She used this dirt. The dirt here at Rocky Top is hard, so you want to play to that. And has just so much speed to get down that line. And again, Duke really hyped up in the dugout after that one.
Down to their final 3 outs as Mala'ulu squares around, pulls back for ball 1. Mala'ulu 0 for 1 today, also walked. Trying to get something going here for Duke, top of the 7th as they trail 1-0. Squares around, pulls back, ball 2. Duke faced their rivals Clemson this past weekend. And in game 3, as the series was tied 1-1, game 3 in the rubber match, Duke used a 2-out rally, top of the 7th, to come back and beat Clemson 2-1 Sunday. So this certainly is a Blue Devils offense that can string together hits and runs in a hurry when they need. And to your point, Faith, they are all kinds of pumped up in this dugout right now.
Exactly, and that's one thing about this Duke team is you can tell they have so much chemistry. They have so much fun when they are playing out on that field, and you saw it when they went to the Women's College World Series last year, but you're also seeing it again this time as well.
2-0 pitch, pulls back, strike 1. Now that we've seen Mala'ulu square around several times in this at-bat, you can see the corners. Panel, Gibson a couple feet forward. 2-1 pitch, squares around again, strike 2.
Well, this is the time when you want to play standard softball, get a runner on to first, then you want to try to bunt her over, but now you have 2 strikes, you got to start swinging. And when you get 2 strikes and your coach wanted you to bunt, that's usually when you have a little bit extra where you need to hit this ball.
Mala'ulu takes the ball 3 high and inside. So now full count here. As Duke has 1 runner on, no outs. And down 1-0. Payoff pitch from Pickens. Grounder over to Rodriguez. Gets the out at 1. And excuse me, Mealer at second base gets the out at 1. But Duke able to advance the runner. So the Blue Devils with the runner in scoring position.
Well, she did her job when it came down to it, and you could see she was even clapping her hands as she was going down first base, because that's exactly what she wants to do. Now you have a runner in scoring position. 1 base hit is going to tie up this ball game.
A big hack by KK Mathis to start her at bat. 0 for 2 tonight, with a ground out to third and a strikeout. Mathis pops this one up foul. You can hear the fans in the stands starting to cheer on the Lady Vols as they know their team is inching closer to the end of this game. Tennessee took the lead back in the first inning thanks to a solo home run from Taylor Panel, and that has been the difference ever since. 1 out, 1 runner on, 0-2. Mathis takes ball 1 upstairs. Blue Devils picked as the ACC preseason favorites to win the conference again this year, coming off their best season in program history. 1-2 pitch. Mathis hits this one deep. Going back is Fiedler. She'll make the catch at the warning track, but Burgess tags up from second, and she will slide in safely to third.
Mathis doing a great job of doing whatever she can, and that looked like a pitch that was missed by Pickens. She actually thought it was over the wall, but right at the warning track for Fiedler to make that catch. But Burgess, she actually was all the way off second base. I didn't think she was actually going to tag up. She ran all the way back, and I will say if Fiedler was behind that ball, I don't think she would have been able to take off towards third.
The first pitch to Thomas, she takes ball 1. So Burgess now 60 feet closer to tying this game up. But now 2 outs as Thomas swings and misses. Brings the count, 0-2 now.
And such a nasty pitch by Pickens. That pitch came in at 62 miles per hour. That's her off speed. That's most people's fastball, but big pitch coming up.
The fans on their feet. 0-2 fouled off.
This is where Duke is just relying on their freshmen to come in and get this big hit. But Coach Young just calling her over, and I'm sure this is just a moment of, hey, it's okay. I see the fans, I hear the fans and everything around you, but just zone in and focus up over at the plate.
And you have to imagine Carlin Pickens doing the same, refocusing on this next pitch. 2 outs, 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Carlin Pickens eliminates the threat from Duke, and the Lady Vols pick up the 1-0 thriller against the Blue Devils.
Pickens was so dominant in the circle today. You could see that Duke started to battle here in the 7th inning, but Pickens saying, I'm using my changeup, and she kept them off balance here later in the game. But what a day for Pickens in the circle against a top 25 team.
Lady Vols offense only able to come up with 1 run, but it was enough as Carlin Pickens finishes with 10 strikeouts on Rocky Top. A huge 1-0